Hi guys, how you doing? It's Sanai here. Lovely to see you. Let me just see if I can invite some folks in. See who's coming in. Yvonne, Faye, Jen, Sophia. Hope you're all doing great. Happy Monday. It's a gorgeous day here. I'm just going to see if I can get the subject of this conversation in here first of all. Let's have a look. All right, looking good. Okay, so doubt. We're talking about doubt. All right, let me just, how do I close that down? Okay, so we're talking about, excuse the hair, I've been for a run this morning and I just got involved in work again, so I haven't had a shower or got ready. But so we're talking about doubt today. This is a subject that's come up, and it's a great discussion, great juicy discussion point, and something when you're in doubt, you know, when you feel uncertain, when you have a lack of conviction in yourself, you lack belief, self-belief. When you have all of that or any of that, when you're in doubt, that can really freeze you. It can really hold you in paralysis. Joanne's on. Hi, Joanne. So I really want to address the notion of doubt and being doubtful, because I want to free you. I don't want you to feel stuck, and you know, there's a lot of evidence around how doubt will keep you stuck and how to move through it. So let's just talk about, you know, doubt for a few moments today. I want to first of all say that when you're feeling doubtful, and the conversation that has come up, oh thanks Joanne, I was just saying how rough I look. I've been for a run. That's so nice. Don't subscribe to the notion of the naysayers is my first thing. You know, you're going to get the naysayers who speak out of fear, because they're negative, because they're pessimistic. And you know, I remember reading a book actually called The Polar Bear Pirates. I can't remember the author, but he talked about, you get these certain people, these types of characters everywhere you go, and these types of characters will say things like, oh, I tried that, it won't work. I did that once and it didn't work, so don't bother even trying. People like us don't succeed in X, Y, and Z. You know, we don't like change around here. That'll never work. We don't work like that. So it's all that kind of very negative, very naysaying, very kind of flat out refusal to give this a go. So what I'm saying is, don't subscribe to the notion of the naysayers, because the majority of people, most of those people and beyond those people, they need to see before they believe. They need to see something before they believe. You know, it's like, you know, oh, I'll see it when I believe it kind of attitude. And if you have ever, and you'll know this, you don't need me to tell you this, any successful human being on the planet, any success story, any visionary, any creator, any invention, any visionary concept that has ever been created or born or made came from somebody who believed it before they could see it. And any personal development book you read will talk about the power of believing in something even before you can see it. So this is, you know, I'm thinking of an Einstein quote where he says something like, your imagination is your life's, the preview of your life's coming attractions, or something like that. But even Einstein knew about the power of the imagination. And this is about believing in something before you can see it, rather than being one of the naysayers and the doubters who will need to see it before I can believe it, because that's the wrong way round. It's the wrong way round. It's because you believe it that you will bring it into your reality and be able to create it and then see it. So the immediate response to you need to believe it before you can see it is very often yeah, but I've tried everything and nothing's worked. You know, you hear this a lot with kind of, you know, around the weight loss industry, where you see people who've tried everything and nothing has worked. They still can't shift the weight. And the first thing I kind of always think when I hear that is, really? You've tried everything? Because I bet if we explored a few more options, there'll be some extras that perhaps you've missed, I'm sure. You know, so when people say, I've tried everything and nothing works, the first thing I want to say is, right, well, let's explore the extra options that perhaps you haven't tried. You're feeling a bit defeatist, just doubting yourself. We need to open up the thinking here and look at what other options are available, because there are infinite ways of doing most things. There is never one cut and dried. So let's explore other options. The second thing I want to say to somebody who would say, but I've tried everything, is you have to train your brain. You have to quite literally become the person you want to become even before you've become that person. So this is like acting as if. And what we have in our brain, all of us have a setting like a thermostat in our brain that will control our results. Every one of us. And the setting is set, you know, whether it's low, medium or high, and any kind of interim point, we have a setting in our brain that has been set up and installed and reinforced through conditioning and through habitual behaviours. And as we continue to kind of move through life, and we seek out evidence to back up our beliefs and our behaviours, and that continues to reinforce these habits, habitual conditioning and behaviours, and because of that constant reinforcement, we will constantly create the same results in any area of our life. And again, the biggest example I can think of at the moment is like yo-yo dieting. So people may yo-yo diet, go up and down in weight, because yes, the physicalities, they lose the weight, but they put it straight back on again because they haven't become that slim person. They have a setting, a thermostatic setting. You know, the equivalent of a thermostatic setting to the results. It's the same with how much money you make. If you are earning 50,000 a year and have done for a while, that's your setting. And if you have a bonanza month, 1 month, then probably the month afterwards you'll have a quieter month. Just to reset, to make sure that you're still on par with your setting. The way to adjust this is quite literally you need to train your brain. So this is about taking baby steps. You're talking to me today, the weight loss story. Oh, Joanne, am I? I love your emojis. So, you know, we need to create, in order to shift our results, in order to quell the doubt, and in order to begin to believe before we can see, there are a number of things we need to do. One of them is to adjust the setting in our brains to become more expansive, a more growth mindset. How do we do this? Well, to create permanent change, we need to, of course, act as if. You know, as if we are already that person. What would we need to become? What would we need to believe? How would we behave when we are that person that we want to become? You have to embody them already, and then you start to shift your mindset. Also, it's about taking the baby steps, actions that you need to take on a daily basis. So this harks back all the time to your daily disciplines, your daily rituals. I've just been out running today. This is one of my daily disciplines. A few years or several years ago, maybe 10, maybe more, it was before I had the kids, so maybe 15 years ago, I ran my first 5K run. Hiya, Kelly. And running that first 5K, I had to do my training. I did not believe for a second that it would ever be possible for me. The first thing was I couldn't imagine doubling that 5K to do a 10K run. I couldn't even imagine what that would be like. Once I hit the 5K end mark and I was on my knees panting and thinking, oh, I couldn't do that again, the thought of doing it double was just like, no, I don't believe I can. Little did I imagine then that I would then be running full marathons. a few years later. But what I had to do to close the gap between the 5K to the 10K, the 10K to the 13-mile half marathon, and then the full, was take baby steps, action every single day, disciplines, rituals. You know, I go running every day, look at my diet, take care of my sleep patterns, all those things that I knew would close the gap. So if you're struggling with doubt, start acting as if, and then start looking at what are the baby steps that you can take every single day to start to expand that mind, to begin to increase the setting. I keep calling it a thermostat, but increase the setting at which your habitual patterning has been set so that you can increase your results and grow your results. If you don't install these kind of daily disciplines and behaviours that will create permanent change, you will continually create the same results. That's a fact, I promise you. So the other thing as well, for you know, when you're doubting yourself, seek out the evidence around you. Seek out the evidence and the references of the people who have already done whatever it is you want to do. So, you know, how would any of us know what's possible for us as entrepreneurs in the personal development industry if we didn't have the people, the gurus who have done it, who have created this, you know, incredible lives for themselves and served thousands upon thousands of people? How would we even know that that was possible for us if we didn't have those people who have already charted the course for us? You know, we have all this evidence and reference of what's possible for us everywhere. Just click on YouTube, it's all there. And, you know, that's, if I think about every coach I've ever hired, I've hired multiple 7-figure coaches. Why? Because when I don't believe it for myself, I look to them and I borrow their belief in me because they've done it. Therefore, they believe in me. People hire me because they want to grow their businesses to 6 figures and beyond. And if they doubt themselves for a moment, they borrow my belief in them because I've done it. I know what it takes. I know that if I can do it, you can do it. So seek out the references and the evidence around you to really help you to bolster that belief that it's possible for you and quell that doubt, that lack of certainty and conviction. And just going back to the running example, I wanted to say, you know, most athletes, when you see these top athletes, they have competed in their event hundreds of times even before they've even stepped up to that start line. They have visualized, they have believed in their ability to, you know, win the race. So very, very powerful. So believe with everything you've got, everything you've got. And when doubt creeps in, have some doubt quashing strategies close to hand so that you can kind of slay them instantly. So again, things like, you know, your favorite motivational story, your chapter from a book that you love. For me, it was always my go-to in the early days was Les Brown on YouTube. You know, he is the master of kind of making you feel such incredible self-belief and quashing the doubt. You know, I think his mantra is, it's possible, it's possible, it's possible. And I remember thinking, you know, that was my mantra really early in the days, even before I started this journey. When I was studying for my A-level in biology, I discovered Les Brown then, and I just imagined it's possible that I could get the grade I want to get to go on and do what I want to do. So let me know if that's helpful. Just doubt will keep you frozen. Doubt will keep you really stuck. You know, if you've got a lack of certainty, that lack of conviction, then, you know, you've got to find the strategies, find the ways to quash that and ignore the naysayers. You know, I know it's hard. They're our closest people often. They're the ones we love and they love us the most, but they're only speaking out fear. It's not your story. You have to rewrite this story and show them, inspire them. Maybe when you're rocking it, they'll realise wow, it's possible for me too to go on and do what I want to do. You can become a beacon, you know, and inspire others in your quest as well. So take baby steps every day, ladies, guys. Take action every day. Install the disciplines and routines and the rituals that you know will help you just to get, you know, on your path to mastery. And that's my message for today. So lots of love. Thanks for joining. Thank you for watching. And I will speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.